Oh, so today's philosopher that we're gonna learn about, his name is Jeremy Bentham. Jeremy Bentham is this guy, this chubby guy. Okay, and his idea of philosophy is called utilitarianism. Could you guys repeat after me 2 times? Utilitarianism. 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 공리주의. utility는 약간 우리 삶에 도움이 된다라는 뜻이야. 공리가 약간 도움이라는 뜻이거든. 그래서 내 삶에 도움이 되는 건 도덕적이야. 이렇게 생각한 사람이야. Okay, Jeremy Bentham. Yeah. So this is Jeremy Bentham's body, and then it's preserved. It's still at the University College of London, right? We can see, even from this instance, how much he cared about being helpful to other people because he wanted even his dead body to be useful to the students. That's why he donated to the college. I mean, his head was not well preserved, so the head rotted away. So it was replaced by like a fake head, but this body itself is actually the actual dead body, right? Okay, this is just like a little story. Okay, so what is utilitarianism? Okay, utilitarianism is, so there is an equation here. Utility equals overall happiness minus overall pain. Okay, so let's say a society or a group of people is debating between option A and option B, and they need to make a decision. They need to make a choice. Then, according to utilitarianism, whatever option that creates largest happiness over the population and then minimum pain to the population, that is the correct way. That is the moral way to go. So, an action is good if it produces most happiness, maximum happiness and pleasure over minimum pain. That is the basic principle of utilitarianism. Yeah. So the happiness has to be good, and then the sadness has to be minimized based on a certain action. Okay. And then like the happiness or the pleasure, the source of pleasure doesn't matter. So if we are getting the pleasure from reading books like The Giver or Free Water, that's the same pleasure with the pleasure that you get out of eating Bum's Chicken Burger or French fries. Any kind of pleasure is equal according to Jeremy Bentham. Okay? But if we apply utilitarianism to our real lives, problems start occurring. Let's take one example. So, in 1884, 4 English settlers, they were caught in a storm, so they were stranded in the middle of the ocean. And they're waiting for the rescue, but they couldn't find any rescuer, so they were there for weeks. So, there were 4 sailors, and this one cabin boy, he was 14 or 15, his name was Parker. And he was so thirsty, so he drank the seawater. But you guys know that you shouldn't drink the seawater because it makes you even sicker. But he did. So he got really sick. And then he was lying there, groaning, oh. And then he didn't die yet. He wasn't dead yet. But the other sailors, they exchanged glances with each other. And then they decided to kill the boy. And then for the remaining time, they fed on the dead body of the little boy and survived. And after a few weeks, they were rescued by a passing boat. And then they went to the court. They confessed to the judge that, yeah, we had no other choice but to eat the dead body of the little boy Parker. Yeah, and then they resorted to the principle of utilitarianism. So utilitarianism says, whichever action that maximizes the pleasure and happiness and then minimizes the pain, that is the moral thing to do. And according to them, hey, rather than all 4 of us dying, that's like maximum pain, right? 3 of us, at least we survive. That's maximizing pleasure, and then we minimize the pain to just like one little boy's pain, right? That was our moral action to do. We had no other choice. the judge accepted their plea, and then they were they were found innocent, not guilty, right? Was it a right thing to kill the little boy? Was it a right thing to victimize the little boy? Oh, utilitarianism seems a little bit problematic. It gives us a moral dilemma. Let's take another example. So in ancient Rome, the Roman people hated Christians because right now Christianity is a very popular and common religion, but back then the Greek people, they have their own gods like Zeus, Hera, and then they have multiple gods. But then there was this minority group of Christians, and they believed in just one God. And then this religion was so disturbing to the population, the general population. So you know what they did? They threw the Christians, the little minority Christians, into the Colosseum, and then they watched the lions eating the Christians alive. Yeah, and then according to utilitarianism, this is okay. This is a moral action to do because like all the audience, thousands and thousands of people, they cheered and they were excited. Their pleasure and their happiness is maximized. But just like a couple Christians, like 3 or 4 people, they're dead. I mean, like it's painful, but then it's like minimum level of pain while maximizing the happiness of everybody, excitement of everybody. Is it a moral thing to do? I mean, according to utilitarianism, 공리주의, Jeremy Bentham, this is the right thing to do. You guys see the problems with utilitarianism, right? Okay, yeah, there are some criticisms, right? But when Jeremy Bentham first thought of this idea, his intention was not that. What was his intention to come up with this idea? Well, before utilitarianism, everyone was not equal. Somebody was royalty, somebody was part of the aristocracy, somebody had higher status, and there were slaves, and then there were peasants, and Jeremy Bentham's intention was, hey, everybody's happiness is equal. Yeah, and then let's calculate them all equally. And then that is for, for the equality of all people. That was his intention, right? So utilitarianism, its intention was good. It wanted to, consider everybody's happiness equally, whether poor or rich, whether low or high in social status. I mean, that was the intention. But if we use utilitarianism in some cases that deal with basic human rights, such as life, and then such as belief in religion, or the right to pursue happiness, when utilitarianisms are used in 인권에 대한 영역, in the areas where the basic human rights are dealt with, then utilitarianism cannot be right in all the cases. Okay, so the main criticism for utilitarianism is, can we all read this out loud together? Aren't there certain moral duties and human rights so fundamental and natural or sacred or inalienable that rise above calculations? Okay, Jeremy Bentham, your idea of utilitarianism are useful in like most everyday cases. For example, who would like potato pizza? Who would like potato pizza? Okay. Who would like steak pizza? Steak pizza. Okay. Oh yeah, there. I see more hands for steak pizza. Then to maximize pleasure and then minimize pain, we should opt for steak pizza, right? Yeah, in these everyday cases and ordinary cases, utilitarianism is very, very useful. But in cases where they deal with basic human rights, fundamental rights, natural rights, inalienable rights, 우리의 인권에 대한 거, 아니면 인간 존엄성에 대한 거, the rights that we're born with, or human dignity, 그런 데서는 utilitarianism을 쓰면 안 된다라는 게 선생님의 생각이야. That is my idea. Yeah, we shouldn't, use utilitarianism in those areas. Okay? 그러면은 시간이 없으니까 요거는 이제 뭐 이거를 조금 약간 고쳐보려고 했던 그런 노력이에요. 근데 요게 책에 나오진 않는데 선생님이 조금 더한 거거든요. 그래서 요거는 뭐 굳이 할 필요는 없을 것 같고, 자, 마지막 부분으로 가셔가지고 discussion question. Please explain what utilitarianism is. 공리주의가 뭔지 배웠죠? 설명 좀 쓰시면 돼요. Please discuss Bentham's ideas that you agree with. 너가 동의하는 거. Then find possible criticisms for Bentham's idea. 너가 좀 약간 반대하고 약간 비판하고 싶은 거. 야, 그거 쓰시면 됩니다. 오케이.